The September 2024 Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG ban list has sure shaken some stuff up on the secondary market. There are a lot of weird little movements that have happened since the list got dropped, and we're going to cover those today. So first things first, what I think is probably the biggest movement from the list is Grass. So this card is, honestly, it's really degenerate. It's only at 1, so you'll have to kind of draw into it, or hope you draw one of your thrusts to be able to go into it. But this card was up to like $50 something. If we're looking now, you can find first eds for about 27. There are several copies over here. You only need one. You don't need to pick up a whole playset. I really don't think this is gonna go past 1. Unlims also chilling about the same price, but these were like all the way up to 50s, which is insanity. I have 2 of these still. I didn't end up moving those. I think I'm going to use them for trades. Just try to get some stuff that I'm missing, fill in some gaps in my collection. And let's move on to the next one. Eva. I don't really know what this card does. I've never read it. I just know it's a Drytron card. This saw a pretty decent spike, but it's only like $2. You only need 1 if you're going to play it. This also does have the maximum gold, the El Dorado gold letter rare, which is very, very plentiful. So if you guys just want a budget copy, you know, ask somebody. They'll probably give this to you, since they were just going to throw it away anyway. So just go ask a friend if if you really can't afford the $2 for the Ultra. Fenrir avoided getting hit again. People are kind of shocked by this. There was quite a lot of movement in this, a lot of price decline in the few weeks prior to the ban list. And as soon as people saw Fenrir didn't get hit, they're like, okay, let me go get Fenrir ultis then, because it's safe for a few months. These are over $40 now. Sitting about 45s, with the outlier being these 2 at 40. Several at the 45 range, and then it's quickly up to 50s and beyond. 19 listings, that's pretty low. If we look at the other copies, the Tin Secret is very plentiful, around $13. The original Ultra is pretty available, 70 listings, about 10 to 12 bucks. So you do have options if you want to play Fenrir. I'm thinking about using this in Plunder. If you guys don't know, I'm going to my first locals this weekend. Now that we moved, I have a OTS store nearby, and I'm actually really looking forward to that. This should be pretty fun. Another weird movement, Rise Heart. I don't know why this has 17 listings. This is Photon Hypernova. This will likely be in tins, so I don't know why people are like, oh yeah, let's just buy out Rise Heart. Why not? These are 16, 18, damn near $20 for Rise Hearts. So if you guys still have these, go ahead and offload them. You guys can see up here in the top left, I have no filters on. No filters. There's no condition filter, no anything. 17 listings. 16 if you want to exclude the OCG listing. Just makes absolutely no sense to me. Same thing here with Tier Cash. This one makes a little more sense with Grass and Tier. Makes a little more sense, but still, 26 listings, about 15-ish. This is the price that it was for quite a while, so that's not too shocking, I guess. But again, Photon Hypernova, it's going to be in tins. Tier Cash, it could probably be a Prismatic Secret. I would not, hold it past Konami. But why are we buying these out when we're like, what, 2 weeks away from reveals? Players, man. Players will never fail to surprise me. Starlight Arise Arts, 10 listings. Let's go check in on this guy. 10 listings, 109. That's not too awful. These have been climbing up. People were expecting a Rise Heart to come back to 1. I was honestly kind of hoping it would, because I do miss this card. Secrets are pretty available too, around the $8 to $10 range. I think I only have one of these. I need to pick up 2 more for the band binder. That's something I'll have to work on now that we know he's not, you know, back at least for a few months. Heavy Storm. This is one that really surprised me that we still didn't get. OCG and Master Duel both have this at 1. Why do we not have it yet? Shout out to the Retro Pack version, the new Rewave. 6 listings, casually. $2.50. 1 verified listing, 1 verified seller down here at the bottom. $2.19 plus $5 shipping. Otherwise, the other 5 are all non-verified. That's kind of crazy. I have the original Metal Raiders Unlims, and I want to get Hobby Leagues, or at least a single Hobby League. I'm trying to get at least 1 Hobby League card of every Hobby League card. At least 1 copy. I had the Yugi's World and the Joey's World at one point. Both, but I ended up offloading those. But if you guys just want cheap copies, keep an eye on the foils, because it is very, very, very likely that we do get this back at some point, especially if it doesn't get re-hit in OCG or Master Duel. So just something to keep in mind in the next coming months. We know this isn't back yet, so we do have more time to stock up on some of these foils, like the DB2 Super or the Hobby League or Yugi and Joey World, or hell, even just pick up some of these Retro Pack 2020 rares just to flip. Not a bad idea. Blaster? Why is Blaster was $5 before the ban list, before he went from 1 to 2. Tell me why. Okay. Market price down here says $12.41. The most recent sale was $19.99 for near mint. Why are these all $20 for the secrets? I'm waiting. I don't know who in their right mind was like, oh yeah, Blaster going from 1 to 2? Hell yeah. I'm willing to pay 4 times what it was, 5 days ago. I just bought my 3rd copy 2 or 3 nights ago on Whatnot for $10, and that was like $3 over market price at the time. Why are these $20? And you think it's bad, right? And it is. But just wait, it gets worse. Tempest, 26 listings for near mint. That's really low considering how long this card has been off the list. And you can see this thing had substantial movement post-Banlist. This card has been legal forever, but it's useless. But people are like, hey, Dragon Ruler is going from 1 to 2. Let's just go buy the secrets. Let's just go buy them. I need them. I'm going to play Dragon Rulers when they're all at 2. I don't know, man. Title. I said it got worse. And here we are. Title. 11 listings near mint. These are a couple listings here at 10. This guy has 17 copies. And then it's quickly to 14s, 15s, 62 copies. And look at this. Pre-ban list, $5. Same thing as Blaster, except half the price for some reason. I don't know what warrants Blaster having a $20 price, whereas Title is, 10 to 15. Just market things. And then Redox. Poor Redox. 33 listings, sitting about $5. Very accessible. Same thing with Tempest. But you can see, again, several sales post-ban list. People are coming in, they're wanting their rulers. Red Rose. This thing has moved pretty substantially for all printings. You can see the Legendary Duelist Season 2 Ultra is very high, 7-ish plus dollars. The rare out of Legendary Duelist 4, and then we have the colored name Ultras out of Legendary Duelist Season 2 that are all very low on listings. I don't know the application for this card. That's something I still haven't looked up. Let's just click into one of these and... yeah, I just don't understand why this was ever on the list. I don't know if it was some degenerate, like, OTK kind of thing. That's kind of just... I just can't see it. Somebody fill me in the comments. Denglong, you know, he had a couple copies sell. Light Playlist, filtered near mint first. Yeah, about 20 copies sold. That's not awful, but Denglong is so accessible. People were so scared for this card to come off of the forbidden list, and then when it went to 1, it just did nothing. Same thing with Ib, which we will talk about here in a sec. Ib, very accessible still, the OG Seeker and the reprint Ultra, just very plentiful. And then we get into the quarter century. This saw some movements here a while ago. It was very cheap for the quarter century, and now it's sitting at $36.50, so like $37-ish lowest, which is insane. I ended up pulling one of these from a Terminal Revenge booster. When was that? Like June, July? And at the time it was like a $15 quarter century, and I'm like, oh my god, it could have been Magia, it could have been like Phantom of Yubel, could have been Branded Fusion, it could have been like, you know, anything else but Ib. It was a second worst quarter century at the time, and now it's, you know, chilling pretty good, so I think I still have that somewhere too. Shout out. Left Arm Offering. This is a card that people are thinking about using with Grass because of this. Add 1 spell card from deck to hand. It's just a searcher to get your Grass. You have to have 2 or more cards in hand, and then you have to banish your entire hand. Yeah, people are very desperate to be able to search the Grass out, so you may see people running 3 of this, plus Grass, plus Thrusts, just to try to get into that, because if you're playing Grass, you have to run a 60-card deck. It's just most optimal. So the more cards that you can get that'll get you to that singular Grass, the better. So these are very expensive. $5 for light play firsts. Near mint firsts are going to run you almost $8. This was a $1 card pre-ban list. If you just need a copy to play, though, there are commons that are less than a quarter. Rage of Raw and a structure deck one. So just get the commons. Don't pay the premium for the foil. Wanted. Wanted is up. And by up, I mean $30. This was like $12, I think, at its lowest. Why is Wanted $30 when it's getting reprinted in tins? Again, I don't get it, man. Diabell Star, again, same thing. It's going to be reprinted. Maybe not in tins, but for sure in Bonanza. It's already been confirmed. Why is this 40? Again, I just can't understand it. Poplar, kind of the same thing here. Poplar's pretty accessible for the Ultra. Mind you, this is Phantom Nightmare, so if Snake Eyes continues to dominate, which there is a very high chance that it will, this may go up post-Tins and Bonanza if it isn't seen in Bonanza, because, you know, people are going to have easier access to the Wanted, the Diabell Star, and all that, whatever else, like Snake Eye Ash, I guess, if they can't afford the Super. But it's kind of the same thing that we saw with Labyrinth with Big Welcome. This card will spike if the deck keeps performing and people get easy access to the rest of the cards, you know, the Wanted, the Diabell Star, that kind of thing. So keep an eye on this, because the Poplar sitting at like 6s, honestly not awful. You can see there are plenty of copies here at the $5 mark. So this would not hurt to have a few of these just on hand, just in case. Oh, Flamberge. It didn't get hit. Everyone was expecting this card to be nuked, but it didn't. Secrets, obviously pretty accessible. I want to look at the quarter centuries because these did see a very large spike in sales. However, not that big of a spike in price. These were chilling at about 30s and now they're 34s. So these are accessible. If the community outrage is, you know, as insane as it was prior to the ban list dropping, if it continues on that path, I really feel like they might just ban Flamberge to get the community to shut up. That's probably a pretty good prediction. And then we got Snake Eye Ash. It's at 1 now, so the ulti actually saw quite a bit of movement too. It was sitting, God, I think I saw him as low as 12s, and now they're sitting about 20 with not too many listings on the market, which is kind of weird. Yeah, remember when this dropped and it was $70? Yeah. Oh, fire format. I don't think it's ever going to end. Bonfire didn't get hit. No clue why, but the ultras are sitting about 24 and the collectors are sitting about 60. So this is confirmed to be getting a reprint in the tins as a prismatic secret. So again, don't buy these. These will just go down in price once the secret comes out. Maybe the CR, but who knows? They could toss a quarter century our way for Bonanza. We just have no way of knowing at this point. Branded Fusion, I wanted to touch on this. So Branded Fusion got put to 1. Just kind of random. I feel like there were some other hits that they could have done for Branded just to, you know, hurt the consistency and kind of make it so people weren't as outraged by the deck. Quarter century is sitting about 70s to 80s, whereas the ultis are sitting at 18. If you can find the Euro ultis, I feel like these look really, really good. But you have to get the Euro ultis. You can't get the NA ones because they just look like ass. So if you can find Euro ultis, go ahead and get those. But a lot of people are going the quarter century just because it matches everything else and it's shiny, you know. Albion, I feel like this should have been hit. It made no sense that it didn't get hit. It was $10 and now you're sitting about 15s. And this came out in Syac, so there is a chance that it gets reprinted in tins. If they reprint it, who knows? They might do like an Ultra or they might just do Prismatic Secret. Who knows? I'm very shocked that they didn't hit this. And I feel like this was the hit that they should have done to, you know, hurt Branded if they wanted to. Solo Hat Rabbit, this thing has been seeing a very large increase in sales due to the Apo ban. Because now decks have room for this in their end board. So Solo Hat Rabbit the Secret we'll touch on first. These are sitting about 13s. This is kind of where they've been the whole time, is this $13 to $15 range. But you can see it had a little bit of an uptick from the 10 mark. Jesus. Is that 800? I don't know why that's saying 800. Saying about 253 were sold over the weekend. That's still kind of insane. But the quarter century is what we want to look at here because this has been bought out. Again, it is $100. Not too much of a shock if you guys have followed the price history for this. It has, you know, seen several buyouts over the last few months since it came out. So this isn't too shocking. Cosmic Blazar, though, this is super shocking to me, actually. So people were like, oh, Calamity got banned. What can we use instead? And they're like, oh, Blazar. Blazar's getting a quarter century. It's already confirmed in the tins. I mean, I guess you can buy the Deuces, but, you know, people are going to rarity upgrade and the Deuces will fall down. So why is this bought out? Why are people paying 16s, 17s, 20s? Why are people buying these? I sold my 2 at like 17s, I think. 16, yeah, 17s. Sure, I mean, take them off my hands, man, before they fall. Pydra. Keep an eye on Pydra, because Tenpai did not get hit at all. Shifter would have been probably the most impactful hit for it. But instead they just, limited the field spell, which is good. It's a good thing, but it doesn't really hurt the deck at all. Plus, Trident Dragon is getting reprinted in the tins in a few weeks, so that's going to be really accessible. And then people are going to be like, oh, I really want to play this deck. It's pretty cheap. And they're going to go out and get the other parts that they need for the core. Pydra was the only one that, is super impactful out of Legacy of Destruction. So go ahead and get Pydras if you don't have them already. I do need to pick up a playset of these before they're completely gone. And before the Megatons come out. So I need to do that here soon. Shifter. This did get bought out due to the ban list and it not being touched. So $45 and beyond for shifters. Several of these moved. Went from 26 to 40. Pretty good spike on that. Crossout. This also saw a nice little price spike. One seller here, Ideal 808, shout out. 6 copies at 40. And then it's 47, 48, 50. Not too bad. Summon Sork. This is one that I'm still not sure why we haven't gotten the errata yet. This errata came out in the OCG like ages ago, and we still haven't gotten this in the TCG. And there's like several cards like that too that OCG has had freed from the list, whereas TCG just has not even bothered. Let's on the fly look these up. MX Saber Invoker is one. This is at 1, I think, in OCG and in Master Duel. It's very accessible, very cheap, but it's just not. It's still banned on our list. And then we also have stuff like Glow Up Bulb. Shout out Glow Up Bulb. Secrets sitting about 11. Ultis sitting about. Let's go take a look at this. Starstrike Blast. Let's go near mint firsts. Sitting about 83-ish. Yeah, that's not too awful. I would honestly just use the secrets. I have a playset of that ready and waiting. But for some reason they're not moving this off the list yet. Kieran, this got unlimited. Honestly pretty big for the deck, but it didn't see a ton of movement, I guess. There's still plenty of listings for both prints. Pot of Prosperity is one I wanted to touch on too. Because with this being limited, there's so many different copies of this now. And they're all, dying. If we look at this made me really kind of question everything. The Starlight is under $100. Let that process for a moment. The Starlight Pot of Prosperity is under $100. Yes, so if you're thinking like me, you're remembering a time where Starlight Pot of Prosperities were like $700. But Rarity Collection came in and is like, hey, let's just print a gold name Starlight with a little stampy stamp and yeah, let's just kill the value on the Starlights. It's kind of funny, honestly. Oh, good lord. I do feel like these pot collection cards look really cool, though. I still have yet to see them in person, but I'm really interested in these prints. Gigantic Sprite. So this also got bought out. Don't ask me why. I have zero clue. This is $65 to $70 now. And not only that, but Sprind has gotten bought out. Sprind, ignore this one. This is an outlier. This $45 listing. I think this is one of those ones that you can't add to your cart. And then there's a non-verified at $80. And a verified at $125 for Sprind Quarter Centuries. Somebody cooking? Colossus. this saw, you know, tons of movement with it going from 1 to 2. Secrets are pretty nice. I like the secrets. I will need to pick up another sometime, or I might just try to see if I can't trade for an ulti. The ultis are pretty cool. Lunalight Tiger, I still don't know why this was on the ban list at all, but, you know, it's a common. It's not going to have a ton of insane penny stonk potential. Armageddon Knight is one that was pretty cool. It was freed from the list. I wanted to look at the OG Super from Phantom Darkness. Let's go ahead and clean this up real quick. So near mint firsts, sitting about 15s. What were they prior to the list? Still sitting about 20, so kind of weird then. We have, what is this, 4 copies here under 25, and then we have 3 copies at 25, playset at 35. That's just weird. If you guys want the cheap OG Supers, you can get a whole playset from different sellers for like 45, probably like 53 bucks post-tax and shipping. Not too bad, really. Druis Worm. So this is something to keep an eye on too. If it's not printed in Bonanza, with Drytron potentially making a comeback, and all of these other light and dark decks that are always going to plague the formats, Bestials are just going to be super good. None of them were hit. Magnemut's still at 1, but the rest of them were not hit. And this is chilling about 15 bucks for the secret. And then we pop on over to the super, and it's also sitting about that same price. Both are pretty low on quantities too. So keep an eye out on that. Crimson Dragon. Okay, so this has a Sneak Peek Ultra. It has a Quarter Century. It has a Secret. And it has a Prismatic Secret on the way in the Megatons. Why do we have 16 listings on the Secret? Mind you, lowest verified is $35. I honestly could talk about this stuff all day. There are so many weird oddities from this ban list that make absolutely 0 sense. And let's just take a little peek at the Drytron stuff. So Meteonis Drytron sitting about 40 for the CRs, 15s for the Ultras, low on listings there too. Drytron Nova sitting about over 30. That's kind of nice to see. What else do we have? Moo Beta, Lightning Overdrive secrets. Where are the Megaton secrets? Because I have like 30 of those. I don't think it's probably moved a ton. Oh, the filter changed. The sort and view. Moo Beta. Yep, sitting about a quarter still. Not too big of a shock there. I had a few of these move. I had a few of these move. The Draconids is pretty low on listings for the Ultra. Otherwise, everything else is pretty accessible here. If you guys want to play Drytron, go ahead and see if you can't trade for the Meteonis and the Nova. Just see if you can't trade for those, or, you know, pick them up for cheap. King Sark, too. Where did this go? Why are there 13 listings on the Ultra? See what I mean? There are just so many weird cards. Okay, this came out in Age of Overlord. It's very likely to be in tins. Why is there 13 listings of this? Where are the listings going? This? Crimson Dragon? Rise Heart? There's just so many cards that are just gone. Just completely non-existent. And it makes no sense because they're getting reprinted in like 3 weeks. This is the last thing I want to touch on. So, Konami announced the Yu-Gi-Oh! Retro Games, like, subdivision. and their very first post was just, welcome! Follow us to stay updated on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Early Days collection and Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG retro-themed products. This is, you know, whatever. I think this was just ports of Japanese games or like early Yu-Gi-Oh! Games. It's nothing like Duelist of the Roses or anything, for example. However, a Duelist of the Roses remaster would be really sick. This is a big thing here. Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG retro-themed products. Are we talking like just rewaves, like Retro Pack, hence the banner? Light of Destruction? Are we getting like Raging Battle, which is one that I've been, you know, saying needed to be rewaved for ages? What does this mean? Are we getting specific, tailored Time Wizard product for, like, you know, Ultimate Time Wizard events? Just something to kind of think about. So, with this in mind, I wanted to touch on Cluster Amaryllis, because this is one of the big gatekeepers to this deck in Edison. If you want to play plants for Edison, you need your Cluster Amaryllis. But this card will not be reprinted because it's currently banned. Now, that's Konami's, you know, original philosophy, is they don't want to reprint banned cards in modern product because, hey, new player could be like, hey, I opened product, I put this in my deck, why am I getting deck checked, and why are you telling me I'm DQ'd for having an illegal deck? You know, they don't want that kind of situation to arise or any confusion. So, the only way this is getting reprinted is through a Raging Battle rewave, which is why I originally said Raging Battle needs to be rewaved, or through specific Time Wizard tailored reprints. Now, let's take a peek here. Near Mints. Near Mint First Ed is the first one that pops up. Oh my god, it is $87. Near Mint Unlim, non-verified, no sales, 83 plus 5. Good lord. I have a whole playset of this, just chilling in the binder. I have a First Ed and 2 Unlims. And I had a third Unlim that I had sold on Whatnot. Shout out E-Dobbs. Got him his first or second plant. I think he's had the whole playset now, but why is this card so expensive? Why? Because it's banned, and it has a solo print, and it was a foil from an old set. And if we go and look at Raging Battle, okay, there are so many sick cards in this set that could use the rewave, like Ultimate Chalices, Ultimate Power Tool, Ghost Power Tool, Ulti Trident, Ultra Trident, Drago, Light End, Grave Ultis, Sphere of Chaos is another big one, Armed Wing, hell, King of the Beasts, another big one, Chalice OG Ultras. There's just a lot of really sick cards from Raging Battle that could really use the rewave. So that's kind of what I've been hoping for, is just a rewave of this set. Snowman Eater, Deep Sea Diva. And then we have all of the OG Blackwings. We have Spined Gilman. We have Scopin, Morphtronics, Remoten, Ojama Red and Blue. And a lot of people really like these OG Blackwings because they, you know, they're the original prints, even though they're like all commons and rares. Kalut. There's just so much good stuff in this set that I feel like this set could really, really use the rewave. Trap Stun, Ojama Country in 1-for-1, Guardian. Like, there are so many good cards in this set across all of the different rarities. I just really love this set. Evil Thorn, even Moja. What else do we have down? Even down here toward the bottom, there's still stuff like Hedgeguard, Doom. Let's even go to the last page, see if we can find bangers on the last page even. Iron Core, yeah, that's kind of whatever. Phoenician Seed, I guess, but that's kind of stretching, but yeah, let me know if you guys have noticed any other weird oddities, like the Crimson Dragon or the Rise Heart or any of King Sark, like any of these weird cards that have been completely bought out for no reason, even though they're getting reprinted in 3 weeks. If you guys like the video, leave a like. Subscribe if you guys are new. We're on our way to 300 subs. I'm planning a giveaway here that will be up soon. I'll give you guys more information on that when the time comes. But make sure you guys join the YGO Fresh Off the Press Discord if you're not in there already. Shout out to the homie Jay. And yeah, I hope you guys stay safe. Stay hydrated. Go drink some damn water. That's what I'm going to do. And we'll talk to you guys soon. I'll give you guys a little locals update closer to when we go there. And I'll let you guys know how it goes. So we'll see you guys later. Take care. Stay safe. And again, go drink your damn water.